Hey, Chris Jenkins, credentialed member of the media, covering the Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe, with your Panthers news update today on June the 6th, Monday. So Scott Fitterer, like the commercials with was it Palomalu, and I think Mahomes is in it now, right? Scott Fitterer is never not working. So as you saw in the headlines, and I got a little bit more information than what you see in the headlines, and because this is a short video, I'm gonna encourage you right now. Hit the like button, help other Carolina Panthers fans find out about this channel. Costs you nothing, helps me a lot, helps me to continue to do what I love to do, working for you guys and getting players on this show. But nevertheless, Keith Kirkwood was signed by the Carolina Panthers today. And if that name sounds familiar to you, it's because it is. He's been with the Carolina Panthers kind of off and on for the past 2 years. Previous to those 2 years, he was with the New Orleans Saints, but what you may remember most was last year down in Spartanburg, South Carolina. Made the news because he was had a vicious hit in training camp, in which he left the practice in an ambulance. The player that hit him was released that same day. Coach Rule was really upset that day about that happening because of just the whole, players need to be looking after each other in training camp, that sort of thing. But that's who Keith Kirkwood is, if you're familiar with that name and wonder where you've heard it from before. By the way, the player that was released was JT Eby, I believe. Ib is the way you spell his name. He was a player that was released as a result of that. So what about Keith Kirkwood and some stats on Keith Kirkwood? So he's 6'3", 27 years old, 210 pounds, has familiarity with Coach Matt Rule because he is a Temple alum. Last year for Carolina Panthers, he played in 3 games, had 7 targets, had 3 receptions for 17 yards. So he is a guy that, they're just doing some roster churning and shuffling, trying to get the best guys in here to give them a fit. Now, you may could say they're lucky to get him back because prior to signing with Carolina today, Keith had an interview, if you will, with the Chicago Bears. They decided not to bring him on. So just a guy with some potential, some roster depth, somebody that hopefully they're looking at that they can bring along and be a contributor on this team with this young group of wide receivers that they had. Well, as you know, to make a move, you got to make a counter move typically, and the Carolina Panthers did so. They had to waive wide receiver Talalu Limu Jones. Man, these names lately are just jacking me up. I'm going to start putting the names on the screen better so that you guys can see those names, as I unfortunately butchered them. So I'm going to try one more time. Wide receiver Talalu Limu Jones. He was out of Washington, I believe, Eastern Washington. Let me make sure really quick. Yeah, he was out of Eastern Washington is who he was that he played for. One more news update for you. If you enjoyed the play-by-play and announcing of wide receiver, future Hall of Famer Steve Smith in the booth last year during the preseason games, you will be treated to that once again, as Steve Smith and the Panthers today announced that he is returning this preseason to do those games in the booth for the Carolina Panthers. So that is all for today. If you still hadn't hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I will be back to you at the latest. I say latest because news could happen tomorrow, but at the latest on Wednesday. That's when the media will get a chance to be a part of OTAs once again. So hit that subscribe button so you can see my observations from what will be for the media the 3rd week of OTAs and the observations that we have from that. Once again, Chris Jenkins reporting for Charlotte Vibe. Thanks for watching.